Hello everyone, sorry for this very weird angle, but this is what I have to work with today. Today's Saturday, but I just wanted to record because we're getting closer and closer to the end of the school year and we still have a little bit of the book left. So, if I look any different today, it's because I'm now a college graduate. I'm just kidding, I won't look any different, but I did officially graduate from college yesterday, and this morning we are having my online grad party. So my graduation party was going to be a waffle bar. So instead on Facebook, I'm just having people like post pictures of their breakfast, and then they're telling us like happy graduation and stuff. So it's kind of fun. I've been looking at pictures of food all morning, and I had some absolutely delicious blueberry cake waffles with a nice glaze on top. Really outdid myself. Went to PetSmart this morning because Louis was so low on food. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, know what I was thinking. I usually have tons and tons and tons of food. I like buy my stuff in bulk so then I don't have to worry about it. And then I was running low, and then I was like, don't buy new food because then you're just gonna have to move it. And so I went to PetSmart this morning, but my friend Jonas just got 2 new guinea pigs, so he has 3 guinea pigs in total. So we had to buy some guinea pig supplies, so it all worked out. And I will let you guys know I'm a little bit scared of guinea pigs. I don't know why, but they like make me ooh. And so I pet one of them last night named Spike, and he's the fluffy one, and he's really nice. So I think I'm gonna start liking guinea pigs, but mostly because Jonas is like one of my only friends that I have here. So now I have to love his guinea pigs. I'm just kidding. I know I'm going to love them. So I think I'm probably going to do some more shopping this afternoon to decorate. Need to build some shelves. So we'll see. I might use a saw today. Oh geez, today is that crazy titled chapter. Dang it. That's why I had to stop reading last time because I couldn't even speak. Okay, Pimpinellope, I think is how I'm going to pronounce it. I normally always challenge you to think about what the next chapter is going to be about, and we can kind of use the chapter titles to challenge our brains, but I don't even have any sort of idea of where to start thinking what Pimpinellope is. So I guess we will find out together. So after 3 weeks, you know that you may mess around as much as you want to in my studio. Mr. Ami looks at Eva and Lisa with satisfaction. Put on those old shirts of mine. Look, I've clay, brushes, and charcoal. Take what you want. But there's one thing that's off limits. This drawer here. He taps against the shiny brown cabinet. I can't tell you what I have in it because it's a secret. But I'll show you what's inside as soon as I think the end of the war is near. Oh my gosh, if someone told me that the only thing that I would want to do in that entire room is open that drawer. Mr. Ami, what are you thinking? Okay, I'm going to paint, says Lisa, and she presses a thick glob of red paint from a tube. This is fun, she exclaims. And you, Eva, what are you going to do? I don't know. Look at this lovely clay, says Mr. Ami. Feel it, pinch it. You can wash your hands when you're finished. I'll get back to work now. Mr. Ami sits on his stool. He takes a roll of toilet paper and unravels it into a bucket. There's wallpaper paste in here, he explains. Sorry, that was a weird text message I just got. When the paper has absorbed enough paste, I'll make a doll's head out of it. That head will become hard as rock after the paper and paste have dried. Who wants to take over this job for me? Then I can do something else. That sounds so interesting. Almost like paper mache. Have you guys ever done that before? I will, says Lisa. She pulls a piece of paper from the roll and puts it in the bucket. The paste drips between her fingers. Ugh, it's nasty, she says and giggles. What about you, Eva? Mr. Ami stands up. Don't you want to do anything? Paint, model with clay, draw with charcoal, perhaps? No. Then I have something else for you. Wait a minute. I'll be right back. He's nice, isn't he? Says Lisa, after Mr. Ami has left the room. She wipes her hands on her shirt sleeve. Come on, we'll take a break. Sit with me. Sit with me, Freaky 2. She picks up the puppet. Are you happy, Eva? Freaky asks. Happy? What do you mean, happy? Because Mr. Ami is so nice. Why don't you answer? Don't you think Mr. Me is nice? Yes, but... Eva speaking so softly that Lisa must bend across the table to hear her. Freaky too, I'm putting you down, says Lisa. I think that my sister wants to whisper something in my ear. The puppet's head makes a bumping sound as it knocks against a wooden table. Tell me what's wrong. Whisper it in my ear, Eva. Eva begins to whisper. Lisa laughs a bit at first, for Eva's breath is tickling her. But as Eva continues to whisper, Lisa's smile gradually fades. Yes, she says when Eva is finished. Yes, I feel that way too. Shall I get back to work now? All right. Lisa puts her hand back in the paste once again. It's so nice to be able to make a mess like this, she comments. We are never allowed to do this anywhere else. And still, well, here I am again, Mr. Me's voice in the hallway. Quick, open the door, girls. My hands are full. Lisa rushes to the door. There is Mr. Me, his face hidden behind a stack of magazines. The peak of his little white hat is barely visible above the pile. Eva, these are for you. He plops the magazines down on the table. Take a pair of scissors and a jar of paste and get going. You can cut up all these antique La Belle and Marguerite magazines, and whatever you come across. I have a sheet of paper for you too. You can make a nice collage by pasting the clippings there. It is quiet in the studio now. Lisa stirs the paste, her tongue between her lips. Mr. Me sits cross-legged on the table, just like a tailor. Now and then he strokes the gold velvet cloth that rests in his lap. It's beautiful, master, says Freaky in Lisa's voice. What are you going to make from it? A coat for me, perhaps? No, I'm making a king's robe, Mr. Me whispers. It will be for King Karayan. His hands and his head are already finished. Eva sits with her hand under her chin. With her other hand, she flips through a La Belle. November 1938, she reads aloud. Useful tips for making holiday gifts. In November 1938, we were still living in Rotterdam, next door to Mr. Terhegi, says Lisa. Mr. Terhegi has a parrot named Lodwick, says Mr. Me with a smile. Lodwick always shouted, This is a bad word. I'm trying to think of a substitute. Dirty bad word whenever he heard Hitler's name. How do you know that? Asks Lisa. I'm a psychic. I know everything, he answers secretively. I also know that Mrs. Terhegi. These names are so hard in this book, you guys. Terhegi has a cat named Lena, and that Lena had kittens during the bombing of Rotterdam. Mrs. Terhegi gave you one of those kittens. Are you really a psychic? Lisa asks. You're right about everything. Do you know that we named our little kitten Mathilda, and she ran away the night before we went into hiding? In August 1939, two sweet girls from Rotterdam were on vacation in Bilthoven at Hoflat 10 for a short time, Mr. Me whispers. The puppeteer at Hoflat 12 made friends with those two little girls. They told him all about Rotterdam. And in June 1940, they sent him a lovely postcard with the picture of a kitten on the front. On the back, they wrote, This is our kitten, Mathilde, daughter of Lena. Kisses, Eva and Lisa Zilberstein. Oh, is that so? Yes, Lisa. Now take a look at your big sister. She doesn't see or hear a thing. I don't either, says Lisa. I'm painting. It's so quiet in the studio that Lisa's paintbrush can be heard as she applies it to the paper. Now and then comes the sound of paper rustling. This is nice. Look on page 9, Lisa. What do you think of that child? Shall I save that page? Asks Eva as she sets down an issue of Margaret next to Lisa's painting. That girl looks like you, Lisa replies. She's a miniature Eva, with her glasses and a bow in her hair. I can use that picture. Eva tears out the page. Carefully, she cuts along the girl's face and along her straight hair with the red bow. She pastes the picture in the center of a white paper. Look on page 10. There are all sorts of roses with weird names. Pimpinellope, Pomphira. She looks at the complicated names. Pimpinellope, Pomphira. She sings as she cuts the flowers. She pastes them around little Eva's head, making a frame around the child. Eva takes the picture of an orange rose called Happiness and clips out only the thorns. She can't stop it. It seems as though someone else is moving her hands. She pastes the thorns all around the roses. Suddenly, little Eva has a red rose over her heart. She doesn't look as happy as she did a while ago. "May I look, Eva?" asks Mr. Ami, as he sets down the gold velvet on the table. He walks up to Eva and puts his hand on her shoulder. "Don't," she whispers. "Move your hand. It's making me hot." He takes the paper in his hands. "Beautiful," he says quietly. "How beautiful. Are you finished?" "No." "Then I won't ask any more questions." Mr. Ami sits down on the table again. Eva picks up a copy of La Belle. It looks very old. On the cover is a photograph of a little girl pushing a wicker doll carriage. "Little mother taking a walk," she reads, and bends over the picture. That curl on top of the child's head, those ringlets on the side of her face, Eva's seen that photo before. But where? She looks at the photo credit on the left side of the picture. Photograph, Michaelis von Vaja. She reads, Michaelis von Vaja. She thinks deeply, and suddenly she knows. He is Davy and Dorothy's uncle. He comes from Hungary. Then the girl in the picture is Dorothy, she shouts. "What's wrong?" Mr. Amin jumps off the table. "Eva, dear, what is the matter?" "There, that same photo was in Uncle Samuel and Aunt Sosha's blue velvet photo album. Dorothy was caught, and I don't know where she is now." "We were going to stay together forever," whispers Lisa. "We've let her down." Mr. Ami is still looking at the magazine color. "I'll make a very pretty frame for it," he says. "I'll use real silver. Then we can hang that adorable little Dorothy above your bed." "No, don't." Freaky 2 is sitting on Lisa's hand. He bows his head. "Eva doesn't want that." "Yes, I do," Eva snaps. "Mind your own business, Freaky 2. And that's the end of the chapter. Our next chapter is titled Swimming Pool, so a little bit easier of a word for you to think about maybe what the next one might be about, but something I'm kind of thinking about now is the way that Eva's feeling. At the end, she snapped. At the beginning, she was quiet, and then she whispers to Lisa, and the book doesn't tell us what she whispers, but as we've been reading this book, I've been trying to put myself in the shoes of Lisa and Eva and kind of trying to relate to feel the ways that they felt. Obviously, I've never lived in a country that war has been going on, and I've never been alive during the Holocaust, so I can't even begin to relate to what they were feeling or how they were feeling, but I do know that when my feelings get hurt and when I'm sad or I'm upset, sometimes my feeling, the way I act, isn't necessarily sad. Sometimes I can be mean or quiet. So I think that's just something to think about is, putting ourselves in the shoes of our characters and maybe trying to make ourselves relate to a story that is a little bit outside of the knowledge that we have. So I'm excited to finish this book up with you guys. I'll scroll through. Oh my gosh, technology's taking over our lives. I'll look through and see how many chapters are left, but honestly, I think we probably only have 3 or 4 left. So kind of be thinking not only about Swimming Pool, but maybe about how this book's gonna end, because there's been plot twists over and over again. So I'm excited to finish this book with you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. Whoop, dropped the phone right at the end.